Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin. Be sure to follow us over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in description below. And if you're enjoying the reviews, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Podcast character designs done by Demon Artie. Follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. You're going to find some amazing artwork, fan art, originals, redesigns, just amazing stuff. So be sure to check her out and give her a like, a follow, and a retweet. Episode 4 of Carmen Sandiego, the Fashionista caper. While not as good as the first 3 episodes, it's still pretty good, but I gotta make a phone call real quick.
911, what's your emergency?
Yes, I'd like to report a murder because Carmen Sandiego is killing it in this dress. I love when Carmen dresses up. I've always liked that in all cartoons. I like when they put on new costumes and new outfits and everything. And man, oh man, this Carmen looks absolutely fantastic in this dress. She looked really good in the season 1. She dressed up. And this one, I'm surprised they got away with, it's just the open V-neck, the slit up the side. It's just a beautiful dress for a beautiful woman. But let's get into the actual episode. It starts out with them already on a job. And we see that they're like at an airfield and, V.I.L.E stealing something. And they got eyes on the item. But before she can act on it and get it, she gets attacked by Countess Cleo's right-hand man. That was her her underling. His name at Haberdashery, which is a store that sells men's products like belts and hats, bow ties, that kind of stuff. Oh, so he has a stupid pun name. He has this magnetic odd job throwing hat, Kung Lao. And it's a pretty deadly weapon. This thing's cutting through the side of a, shipping container. So this thing can, cut through some stuff. And this guy kind of knows how to fight a little bit. And we get, right off the beginning, we get a really cool, action fight scene. Carmen, she always seems to be stuck in these situations where her enemy has a long-range weapon and she kind of doesn't. She has her grapple hook and stuff like that, but everything Carmen can do to fight has to be close range. She should, invest in some type of weaponry that she can use at distance because everyone seems to be always putting her out. But during this whole fight, they're getting all the stuff. So she's trying to stop them from stealing it, but the cleaner guys, and it's kind of a funny little, those same 2 dudes. So I brought this question up in season 1. These cleaner guys, are they clones? Are they robots? Because they don't seem to react to anything. They're loading up all the stuff and Carmen and Haberdasher are having a fight and they look over there and they don't even react to it. They just keep loading up the plane. Kind of a cool little action set piece here. She's running for the plane. He throws his hat, starts to cut up all the light poles so these aren't falling on her, kind of like dominoes. Pretty cool. She gets caught. She gets her coat caught under one of them. And that's the problem with capes and, these type of clothing. They get caught on stuff. She does a really cool dodge and she grabs it with her grapple hook so it can't get back to him, even though it's kind of magnetic to him. She pulls it away from him. So now she has his weapon, but he just takes off, gets in the plane. She tries to stop it. Oh, it's not, I don't mean plane. It's a helicopter. He ends up getting his hat back and she loses. She fails. Pretty cool. I thought that was pretty awesome. She's failed multiple times in this season. It's only been 4 episodes, but she's kind of not necessarily screwing up, but they're not accomplishing their task. And that's okay. You can show your heroes lose. And they didn't take all the boxes, so there were still more crates left over, and then she found some fabric. They're in Athens. They're at the Acropolis, and Zach keeps calling it the apocalypse. He's such an idiot. But they're kind of brainstorming what's going on. Hey, she only stole 1 crate of fabric. What's it about? What are they doing with it? She's all about fashion, so maybe something she needs to do. Or it could be something, Shadow Sun brings up the fact that they're going to replace me. So it could be someone we don't even know came up with this plan. I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty smart. Some tourists, or they're not harassing him, but like, oh, look, a samurai. Because the way that he dresses, so you want to take a picture of him, but Shadow Sun just gives him there dude, leave him the hell alone. So they're trying to come up, figuring out what's going on here, what's happening. Player hits them up saying, hey, I was looking at this fabric. It's smart fabric. So it can integrate with your cell phone. It can monitor your blood pressure. It can do all kinds of stuff like that. And okay, so that kind of leads towards Cerebellum because she does the whole mind control stuff. and they're like, okay, what kind of fashion things are happening right now? And of course, in Mulan, there's going to be the big fashion show. There's always that fashion week. There's one in New York City, Paris, and the big one's the one that's in Italy. And it's funny because Shadow-san knows about it, and they all kind of look at him like, what the hell do you know about this?
Fashion Fest, where clothing designers display their latest styles. Countess Cleo always took an interest.
That's their connection. They're going to make that their next step. They're going to go there. We get to V.I.L.E, and remember the accountant lady, Cookie? I think her name's Cookie. And she's talking about how they lost all this money because, yeah, Carmen has decimated them. They lost, what, $500 million off that Rio job? Yeah, that's a big chunk of change. And she's talking about, we can't keep operating like this. And the council's like, hey, maybe we offer her the seat. But you have to, like, prove yourself. And they give us some context here. Maelstrom's like, yeah, but you were the person that allowed Carmen to escape. She stole your outfit, and because that was, like, when she was first escaped V.I.L.E. So I like that, those things still happen. There's still that connection there. And she's still pissed off about it, too. She's like, I'm not going to let her get away this time. So she has her step up to bat to become the next chairperson. We get to ACME, and there's, Julia's trying to explain how or why Carmen is hanging out with this known V.I.L.E operative. And she's like, well, maybe she's gathering information. Maybe it's something. And you could tell there's doubt in her voice, but she still believes that Carmen isn't the bad guy because she's done so much good. So, like, why would she be working with V.I.L.E now? Chief, her partner, like, basically telling you, you're not saying that she's gullible, but you need to trust the facts. And look here, we got sight of her in Tokyo. She's with the same guy, and she was seen in Greece with the same guy. So this wasn't just some one-off thing. She is working with this guy, and this guy was ID'd by your ex-partner, so we know he's a bad guy. And they're like, are you ready to capture Carmen Sandiego? And she kind of has that look of doubt in her face, but she's going to still do her job. Then we get our little history, our edutainment about the fashion world, about back in the day, the aristocratic types paid for, artisans and stuff like that. They invented their own fashions, and they kind of play in all the edutainment parts are always done in a very positive way. So, like, it shows like, oh, they did all this kind of artsy stuff. These people weren't the greatest of people. They end up, they get there. They're at the venue they're going to have the big fashion show at, and they're getting ready. We get back to Julia, and she's like, practicing her, like, Carmen Sandiego, you're under arrest. Like, she does a little finger gun thing. And I said this in the trailer. You don't hold your gun that way. The whole, like, hold your wrist thing. Ugh, it's so stupid. Put both hands on the gun. Don't do this silly thing. But she's trying to, like, psych herself up. They're on the way to Milan. So they're gonna cross paths. And, like, are you ready? Julia's like, yes, I'm ready to capture Carmen Sandiego.
Are you ready to bag a super thief?
Yes, Agent Zari. In fact, I am.
I'm like, but she's not bad. We get to of course, it's very stereotypical. The fashion guy's like, okay, ladies, let's get ready. Like, he's just one of those types. What I really like about this, because this is where we get Carmen gets in her, she gets to get dressed for the occasion. I really, really wanted everyone to dress up, because didn't Zach look, great when he was wearing his tuxedo when they went into the Countess's, when he was being Duke, whatever? He was handsome. He looked great. I was expecting everyone to dress up, but it's just Carmen. But man, does Carmen look fabulous. And she's keeping an eye on the model. She's trying to figure out, okay, what's going down? What's the caper here? What are they going to steal? Player finds out, they have these dresses that came from that family from way back when. They're going to have them up on stage. And those things are like worth, like, what do you say? Something like, they're worth a ton of money. Something like, what do you say? 6 million euros? Something. They're worth a ton of money. So, like, okay, that's going to be the job. And we're going to steal them first. ACME's there. They're like, she tells Julia, okay, you need to look out for Carmen Sandiego. I'm going to go search backstage. So we have all these different elements all in this one spot. Everyone doesn't know that everyone is there. That's so cool. That's a very cool spy thriller type thing. But they also figured out that they're going to put that technology in the hats of the models, and then they're going to mind control the models to steal those dresses, like, off the stage. Very 007 type plot, and I love it. I think it's great. All these women are beautiful. Carmen's looks amazing. It's shocking to actually see this in a 2019 cartoon, because I thought it was illegal to make women beautiful and attractive, and I thought everyone just had to be frumpy and weird looking. Carmen's like, okay, we need to get these dresses away from them. We got to, she's formulating a plan, But at the same time, all these other things are going down. Haberdasher is the one who fitted the new hats with the technology. Oh, come on, ladies, put on, get ready for the runway. And this is lame, but it's a cartoon, so what are they going to do? So Carmen's there to, she's going to get those hats off those girls and, stop this whole mind control thing. ACME's there, and it's the partner, Julia's partner's there, and she's like, oh, freeze, Carmen Sandiego, we got you. And it's like a gas gun that like knocks you out. Oh, that's so lame. But of course, Carmen, she's like, oh yeah, there's one thing. She just kicks it right out of her hand. Because like, it's funny how even though they had Carmen dead to rights, she like didn't show any like, oh no, you got me. No, she's like knew her very next move.
Funny, you actually have something right there. Hi-ya! Take 5.
Then we get the fashion show starts up. And I actually like the music here, but also the designer guys also like the DJ. That's so lame, but it's awesome. Sarah Bellum starts up her thing and starts mind controlling these models to like, okay, walk down the runway. Then on the way back, they're going to steal everything. Carmen's going to go up on stage because, God, she's so gorgeous. She could be one of these models too. And Julia gets the drop on her. And it's funny because Carmen remembers her and she just disarms her like easily, like without even trying. And she's like, hey, you're going to help me out. And Julia's like, what do you mean? What? You want me to help you steal things? And then it's funny how Julia just kind of went along with it instead of like trying to fight her because she knows she's a good guy. And I mean, if someone like, Carmen gave you this look, I'd do whatever she told me to do. And she like kind of puts a hat on her. Okay, we're going to go up on stage. Hey, Julia's cute. She's no supermodel. Carmen can pull off the supermodel. And this is where I thought, oh, the way Carmen's dressed, okay, that's a runway type. Look at this woman. She's absolutely beautiful. Julia's just wearing like a suit. So it's like, why would they be up on stage? And these things are very choreographed and controlled. They would have stopped this runway thing instantly if there was like unknown elements like walking around. But Carmen does the catwalk like a pro.
Strides and smile.
When did Carmen take modeling lessons? Like, when did this happen? And she's like step for step with the models. And then she's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, turn. And she's like everything. And Julia's like, this is super cute because she's very, she's embarrassed and she like doesn't want to be up on stage. So she's like kind of just shuffling along. And not like really keeping pace. It's adorable. And she's talking to Julia. She's like, okay, then when we, on the way back, as we're walking, we're going to grab those dresses. It's like, hey, there's 4 dresses and there's only 2 of us. Oh, don't worry about it. And this is the silly part that's really stupid. And, they could have done this better. Zach and Ivy just climb up on stage and just start, walking with the models. Yeah, security. So get these 2 idiots off stage. This is where I thought, wouldn't it have been nice to see Zach all dressed up and Ivy all dressed up and they could have, blended in with like the other runway models? No, they just kind of walk up there in their street clothes and kind of act like idiots and people like it. That's the worst part of the episode. It's really stupid. The count is like, hey, stuff's going down. We need to secure these dresses. Something's up. And they can tell Haberdasher's like, oh, I'm ready to receive him. He's outside. He's like, no, you need to go in there and make sure we get him. So he makes his way back in. The zombified, mind-controlled supermodels start going after the dresses, but Carmen got there first. They recognize her like, oh, damn, freaking Carmen's there. Go get her. And then like the models, it's so funny because yes, they're physically fit, but not like athletes or anything, but they become like badasses. They get down there and Carmen's like, hey, get the dresses to safety. Listen to this. He calls her Julia. Julia's in charge. Get the dresses to safety and let me handle this because these models are coming down here and we're going to have a fight. Yeah, we have a fight between 4 supermodels and Carmen Sandiego in this amazing dress. This is straight up. Can there be anything more 007 than mind-controlled supermodels? Right before the fight starts, we get back up to the top and Shadow Sun's there. Everyone's like, where was Shadow Sun this whole time? He should have been dressed up too. Haberdash is there and he's like, oh yeah, sorry, Teach, he tries to fight him. And I'm thinking, will there be, none of these younger guys can fight Shadow Sun. The older, masters might have a chance, but these younger guys, no way. We get an amazingly awesome fight scene between Carmen and the 4 supermodels. And again, very 007. You can see this like happening in one of those films. And these they can kind of fight. Carmen, it's 4-on-1, so Carmen's going to have to use a lot of her environment. And then, man, we get this scene. Wow. The 2019, this whole fight scene is almost, it should be illegal in 2019. They have beautiful women jumping around. It's crazy. I like how the gold just shines on her dress. It's freaking amazing. But we keep fighting, and Cerebellum's having to mind control these people. So it's like I guess it's taking a toll on her, because she even mentions it at the end. All she has to do is remove the hats. So she knocks one of them out. Now it's three on one. She starts fighting some more of them. We get back to Shadow Sun's fight, and it's not even a fight. The guy throws his hat, and Shadow Sun just snatches it out of the air. He tries to call it back, but Shadow Sun's a badass, so he just like holds on to it, and he just runs away. Your best tactic versus Shadow Sun is running away, because he's going to beat the hell out of you. Get back to Carmen, just have a little more of a fight using her environment. One of the chicks throws her shoe at her, and then Carmen's like, oh yeah, good idea. She uses the shoe, knocks off another hat, so it's 2 on 1. They start she's starting to get her back to the wall because, she's getting tired, which is something you don't see a lot in cartoons, where the hero, if you ever watch a boxing match with someone who's like an amateur, they're gassed after 1 round. Like after 3 minutes, they're completely done. Fighting takes a lot out of you, but she's breathing hard. She stands up and she gets in her fighting stance, and she's ready to rumble. I love that. But Shadow Sun shows up, throws her the hat, and then she uses it to knock out the other two supermodels. And then she gets up and she's like, whew, hey, thanks for showing up. Vulnerabilities, limitations, those are the things that make heroes great, because they meet, they're tired, they're weary, but they get up and they still fight. That's what makes them great. That's what makes Carmen so awesome, is that she isn't perfect. She isn't this amazing fighter that can do everything. She was getting gassed. Then of course that one guy shows up, the freaking Fashionista guy. Oh, what modeling agency do you work for? Because for all intents and purposes, she could just be a model. That's how beautiful she is. They lost, and Cerebellum takes off her helmet. She's like, I got a headache, I'm going to bed. And that was Cookie's last chance to, prove herself. And then she does the stupid pun, oh, so the cookie crumbles. Yeah, that's how you lose your job, you idiot. We get back to they won the day. They never explained exactly what happened with those dresses. Like, I'm assuming, Interpol or ACME secured them, but they're in a little nice shop, and look at Shadow Sun in his dad's golfing wear. And she's like, hey, dress down, because when you dress in your samurai clothes, it kind of shows, draws attention to you. Shadow Sun was like, how come we still don't have a home base? They talked about it earlier in the episode, and she's like, well, I really don't know what my home is, and, we just kind of just travel around, and I never wanted to be stuck in one place. Then they kind of come up, this is kind of cool, but it's really cheesy at the same time. Player's like, hey, you remember Carmen of Sandiego, that dressmaker or whatever? She's like, oh yeah, how could I forget? Well, they had a office in Sandiego, went out of business, and it's up for sale. Hey, we could buy it, and that can be our home base, and it could be the old Carmen Sandiego thing. It's dumb, but I like it at the same time. It's so silly. And I kind of like how Shadow Sun's starting to mellow out a little bit, because he had like these sunglasses, and he's like, can I buy these? He asks permission. They have like access to all this money, but I know this is like an expensive place, but he's like, well, Zach got to get pizza and ice cream. I should be able to get these glasses. Dude, just grab whatever you want. Karma's not going to tell you no. It's just cute for him to act that way. And this is where we kind of get some revelation story plot stuff here. Of course, after the mission, they save the dresses, and Julia's talking to Chief, and she's like, well, you know what? Carmen does a lot of weird things, but you kind of prove that she's a good guy, because she could have easily just, beat you up and just went and stole the dresses. Julia, he says, we need to stop going after Carmen Sandiego. We need to try to recruit her. So, but I don't think Carmen will ever take it. She will work with ACME to stop V.I.L.E, but I don't think she'll ever wear the badge or become... It would have to be like in a way where she had her own division, and she can basically be, the only thing I can really think of to equate to would be in Mass Effect, she'd be a Spectre. Technically, she's working with the Alliance, but she can do whatever she wants. No one questions me. She would have to be like that level of ACME. And it's funny how they want to recruit Carmen. We get to V.I.L.E Island, and they're looking for their next recruit. And they haven't unlocked all their characters yet, but they have basically a wall of people they need to go through. But they're like, after everything Shadow Sun did, we need someone who is going to be loyal and is evil to the core and can't be, to them being corrupted to the good side, but to be evil. And they have a whole bunch of people to choose from. So ACME and V.I.L.E are both on a recruiting mission here, and that's the end of the episode. I like this episode. Again, you put Carmen in a beautiful dress. That's enough for a good episode right then and there. I just wish everyone else would have got a chance to dress up. I think that would have been really cool if Zach and Ivy would have, looked nice, because we already saw Zach look nice when he was in that other episode. They could have done it again, but they just let them be silly idiots. It's so stupid. The fighting was amazing. I will never get tired of watching 5 supermodels fight another beautiful woman. That just works for me. And it was dynamic. She's using her environment. It's just a really good fight. Shout out to being a badass. Always awesome. The plot moving forward with Julia. I like it. It's a good episode. I would have changed a couple of things, but still solid.
Sandiego, you just got beached.
Crimson Saint here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15 Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.